Hello, fun people. Welcome to this live stream as we go through and discuss everything that has to do with my new project, Imaginative Travel, my very own Disney travel agency. I'm super excited to kind of go through and answer any of your questions. I did a whole release announcement that I've linked in the description of this live stream if you want to go check out kind of that initial breakdown of my thought process behind it, kind of the origin story of how I decided I wanted to do this travel agency, and how that all led into what I'm able to offer now, which is the ability to book and help you plan and guide you through the process of booking your next Disney vacation. Whether you've been a million times or it's your first time ever, Imaginative Travel is able to help you. It's myself and ever-growing collection of travel agents. That's what I'm envisioning long into the future. Right now it's me and one other individual currently, whose name is Krista. She's been helping me start the whole process of being starting this travel agency and launching it. Now, of course, if you have any questions, make sure to let me know in the live chat. Hello, Brian. Hello, Ryan. Madness Arcade says, didn't know you could afford to start your own company. LOL, that's cool, man. Congrats. Thank you so much. The reality is that like the initial reality of forming a business is a pretty simple start, but getting everything set up beyond that became a more complicated thing, like setting up the website, getting registered as a travel advisor, all of those things to set up the agency to a point where I'm able to actually book people was much more complicated. One Mama, Three Kids, what is the stream for? Yeah, answering all your questions about imaginative travel. Anything to do about that is kind of the focus. Steve says, and Isaac will be announcing the opening of his travel agency and he'll be taking questions and answering them. Yep, that's the full discussion. Robin Light says he is launching his travel agency today. Hello, Brian. Christopher says website. Yeah, the website is planimaginative.travel.com. So that's the way that you can go and check out the site. Here, I can pull it up to show you all as well. Plan Imaginative Travel, Okay, and then we want face cam. There we go, face cam. Yeah, so this is the website, planimaginativetravel.com. All set up, making every vacation magical. Ashley, hello. My grandma Carol says, hi everybody, this is going to be exciting. Super excited to have you here. Imagine Daniel says, hi Isaac, how are you, man? I love your videos. They're so filled with magic and wonders. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm happy I can make them. Jacob, how are you doing? I'm doing well so far today. Savannah says, hey everyone. I don't comment much, but I feel as if I need to say that you've come so far. Keep going. Thank you so much, Ariel. I really appreciate that. It has been a long journey. And I hope I continue to grow and evolve and do better over time. And hopefully this travel agency is a big step a part of that, allowing the ability to provide some extra magic, continue to be able to differentiate myself in the space. Sonia says, my name is Sonia Priscilla Pantoja, and I'm really excited for my birthday coming up on December 24th. And I'm thinking to go to Disneyland or Universal Studios for my birthday. Good choices. Highly recommend. I'd say, like, I would probably go to Disneyland myself. That's typically what I would lean towards, especially if it's Disneyland versus Universal Hollywood. But I mean, you really can't go wrong. It kind of all depends on what rides you want to do. Carnival Pup the First. Isaac, what happened to your old live stream called Miles Morales? I did one live stream of streaming Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS4. I kind of didn't love the flow of making the live stream and doing like the video game coverage, because I felt like I wanted to be engaging with the chat and playing the game. I feel like that's something that I'm gonna have to like try to figure out how I want to do that in the future, of like finding the balance. Montreal Megee Pokemon says, I have no clue what I was just about to text you, and then I just got to see you. I was going to get a phone. Oh, interesting. Eddie's World says, hey, how are you? I'm doing awesome. I'm super excited to be able to speak with you all today. Queen of Disney says, how does it all work when it comes to booking, or you don't know yet? And congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay, so here's kind of the flow of events. So once you're on the website and you press plan your trip, you'll go into this initial page where you'll simply put in your first and last name, your email, and then what type of like vacation products you're looking for. Like, are you looking for just the park tickets, just a resort hotel, or the vacation package, which is like both of those combined with everything else. And then you'll submit that. Then what will happen is that myself or another travel advisor will reach out to you with a much more extensive form that we'll have you fill out that provides much more details of what destinations you're looking for, what types of experiences you want to have. Are you celebrating anything? All of those little things to provide a much more full context of what you're looking for. And then we'll begin the discussion of trying to find the right thing for you. We'll submit proposals to you. And once you agree to that, we'll go ahead and collect the payment information and book the trip. Supersonic Keith, hi Isaac, big fan of your videos. What do you think of Hocus Pocus 2? It was pretty enjoyable, but I think I still enjoy the original more. John Washburn says, will fast passes be a part of this? That's a good question. So the reality is that with Disney, through the current system, the way that it works is you can only purchase the fast pass system, now called Lightning Lane. You can only purchase Lightning Lanes on the day that you're going to the parks. So there's not an ability to book, like to be able to purchase those in advance. So on the day that you're going to the parks that you have a park reservation for, that's the day that you'll purchase Lightning Lane. And you'll purchase Genie Plus, which will provide you with Lightning Lane access. And you'll do it on that specific day. So that's not something we can purchase all at once in the same way that you can get the resort hotel and the tickets all at once. My grandpa says, congrats on your new business. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Carnival Pup the First, because if you do remember that live stream, I remember doing the live stream. It was a fun time to do. Pepe React says, hi, hello, nice to see you. Amanda says, in Kung Fu Panda, why wasn't Poe's mom in the spirit realm? Well, I think for the main reason that Poe's mom wasn't in the spirit world is most likely because she wasn't a Kung Fu warrior. I would assume that because she didn't have strong chi, that she doesn't go to the spirit realm. From what I understand, the spirit realm is not actually total death. It's a world that exists in parallel to the mortal world. So Poe's mother might have actually went to the afterlife, if you have strong chi, from my understanding, that means that you're very tied to the energy of the universe, and so you will still exist in the universe in that parallel dimension. Imagine Daniels says, I have 2 questions for you. What do you do for Halloween? Black Adam. You saw Black Adam. And what do you think of Hocus Pocus 1 and 2? I think Hocus Pocus 1 and 2 are very enjoyable, pretty classic Halloween movies at this point. And I haven't seen Black Adam yet, but I am interested. I kind of do want to go see it. I think it would be fun to go see The Rock be a superhero. I mean, I enjoyed him in Moana, so you know, he might lend himself to the role well. Let's see. But yeah, when it comes to the travel agency, the website is a good place to get a full context around kind of everything that we're able to offer, kind of the mission of what we do, what the steps are involved in it, and kind of what our focus is of doing it. And there's the team so far, and then we're able to start the whole booking process. But there's also more resources too. If you'd like to learn about the different destinations that we're able to book for you, I think eventually we'll also add a Universal section to this, because the reality is that like Universal is a very popular place to go as well. But these are all of the main destinations that, or vacation packages that Disney's able to offer. Disneyland, Walt Disney World, classic ones. But in addition to that, there's also Disney Cruise Line, which can now pretty much sail anywhere across the world. Aulani, a Disney resort and spa. This is a Hawaiian Disney resort. It's pretty much like if you wanted to stay at a deluxe resort at Disney World or Disneyland, but you want to do that in Hawaii. Aulani's available for you. And then Adventures by Disney is able to provide you guides all across the world on group vacations in pretty much in the grand majority of the continents all across the world. And then, of course, we also have experiences too. So this kind of lists, the purpose of this page is to explain all of the things that are available to someone if they're interested in a Disney vacation. So this isn't anything that's destination or vacation package specific. This is, these are all the individual things, and depending on what types of experiences you want, we can provide recommendations for what would be best for you. If you're looking for classic attractions, for example, then you can go, the best place to go is one of the theme parks for sure. And for other things like Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, that's only at Disney World. Character meet and greets are pretty much along any Disney vacation. Luxurious cruises are the Disney Cruise Line, themed resort hotels. Those are, the main things are anything that's on Disney property. State of the art, travel the globe. That's Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney. Engage with animals is Animal Kingdom. Join the Avengers. There's a lot of Marvel characters out at Disneyland at Disney California Adventure. So there's just all the different experiences that Disney's able to offer through their vacation packages. John Washburn says, never knew about Aulani. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. Aulani is a very interesting destination. This is a picture from their spa. Aulani is pretty extensive in the reality that they have like luau's, they have pool, like a variety of different like water pool areas and access to the beach, all in Hawaii. Lots of options. I like that. Yeah, me too. What is the best Disney cruise to go on? So what I would recommend when we're speaking about Disney cruise is that probably the best choice or the most economical would be to choose to do his Disney cruise out of the port that's nearest to you. So there's an ability to go on cruises on the West Coast and the East Coast. There's departures pretty much all along the ocean in the United States. But if I was going to choose one, the thing that I'm the most interested, the thing that I like to speak the most about is probably out of Port Canaveral in Florida. So the big benefit of that is that if you've been to Disney World before, you fly into the same airport as Disney World. And there's also the ability, if you go out of Port Canaveral, which is east of Disney World. So if you pretty much go east of Disney World all the way to the ocean, that's where Port Canaveral is. Now, Port Canaveral, you're able to do interesting vacations where you can spend a few days at Disney World and then go on a Disney cruise. And so I think that's a very interesting way of going about it. The other benefit of going on the East Coast for Disney cruises is the fact that you would be able to have access to Disney's private island, Castaway Cay, which is showcased here. So, it's private beaches. It's all controlled and organized by Disney. And so there's a lot of special touches all that exist there. Steve says, I went on the Bahamas cruise on the Disney Wonder. It was fun. You stop at an island that's owned by Disney and only accessible via a Disney cruise ship. Yes, exactly. And the real nice thing about Disney cruises as well is that they're all inclusive. The only thing that you have to pay for in addition to let's see, like the things that are included, I'll just start with that, is your stateroom, all of the food, except if you want to go at their fine dining location or purchase alcohol. If you're going to do any special excursions or rent any equipment, those are additional fees as well. But otherwise, for the most part, like all of the food is included to the point where there's buffets that you have access to, room service is included. There's so many things that are included. And every night you go to one of 3 different restaurants on a rotation throughout the entire duration of your cruise. Carnival Pop the First. I was thinking about going on the Disney Wish. I think that's a great choice. It's their brand new ship. They have like an aqua coaster on it that looks really cool, especially since it's Mickey Mouse themed. And there's tons of themed experiences like a Frozen restaurant. I believe there's a Marvel restaurant, and I know for sure that there's a Star Wars lounge and bar. I'm very interested in going on the Wish myself. Imagine Daniel says, oh, I love the way you explained the backstory of Sally. I liked that video. And Isaac, are you excited to watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever? I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited for it too. I've already have tickets for Wakanda Forever, so now it's just the waiting game until it finally comes around to be in the release date. Carnival Pop the First. So basically going to the Bahamas. Yes, because you can sail out of Port Canaveral or Miami to be able to get to Castaway Cay. I believe there's also an ability to sail out of New York and New Orleans as well. I went to the Bahamas on the Carnival Sensation cruise ship when I was 3. Dang, yeah, that's fun. See, and I haven't done much like cruising in my life. Pretty much the main thing I've always done is went to the theme parks. So I'm really excited to explore Disney Cruise Line, especially over the next couple of years. I think my first choice is going to be going on the Disney the Disney Wish, but really I just want to go out of go out of Port Canaveral now that I'm based in Orlando, Florida, and go and experience a cruise for the first time. And just have that experience, because I know that it's really well themed. I know it's going to be the food is going to be awesome. And of course, because the food is included, you can ask for as many entrees as you want. There's not a lot of limitations to it. Steve says, I wish I could do some of the stuff kids got to do on the cruise. Truly, I completely agree. There's a lot of cool and interesting areas. For example, I believe on the Disney Wish, they have like this whole Imagineering section just for the kids. Carnival Pup the First said, is there a port for Disney cruise ship in New Orleans of Louisiana? Because that's my home state that I'm from and living in. Yes, there is. There's a variety of itineraries that go out of New Orleans. And that's actually something that was recently added over the last few years. So, of course, things got really messed up over the last few years. So keep that in mind. I'm not exactly sure how, like what the itineraries are. I'd have to look that up. But there's a lot of availability around the country. And I know that New Orleans is a port for Disney Cruise Line. Roblox Robot says, what Disney park are you the most familiar with? So I've went to Walt Disney World the most over the years. The first park I ever went to was Disneyland. And since then, as an adult, I've been 3 times since. But growing up, I primarily came to Disney World. So, and that's also where I decided to move to when I decided I was going to move out of my home state of Wisconsin. So I've spent by far the most time at Walt Disney World. I'm definitely the most familiar with like the resort hotels as well, and the parks. I've went to so many more restaurants in the theme parks and at the resort hotels. Yeah, I've just done a lot more here than anywhere else. Let's see. Like, I've stayed at a number of resort hotels at Disney World. Oh, and that's a perfect transition. Roblox Robot said best Disney hotel. So here's what I'll say about that. I've experienced a variety of them. I've stayed at everything from value resorts to the deluxe resorts. And what I can say is that I really enjoy Pop Century. That's the resort hotel my family primarily stayed at growing up. And so I think it's amazing. It's a resort that is a value resort. So it's not, it's far away from being the most expensive at Disney World. Here, let's see if I can even pull up a picture of it, because I think that could be helpful to articulate the point. But I really enjoy Pop Century. One of the big benefits is that it's on what is called the Skyliner route at Walt Disney World. And so the Skyliner is a gondola system that's able to take you directly to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. And so it's a really convenient and easy way to get around. And I think it's amazing. And so it's on that route. It's a value resort, so it's a fairly affordable resort since it's on property. And here we go. Here's the picture of the front. It's celebrating the decades, going from the 50s all the way to the 90s. It's also on this lake with this great running trail. The running trail, I believe, is 1.3 mile loop around Hourglass Lake. So I highly recommend this hotel. It's the place I've stayed at the most. I love the food court. I love the merchandise. All of the decor is super fun because there's like giant statues of different characters. What's really interesting is a lot of resorts are 3 stories tall, but Pop Century's is 4 stories. So all the statues are even larger. What I'll say is next, though, if you're looking for even more theming for animation, like especially since this is, that's a big thing like we focus on with this community is animation. Art of Animation is another great value resort that I highly recommend. That's like super fun. And this is like larger than life statues of different characters and things like that. But I enjoyed the subtlety of the rooms in Pop Century more, and I enjoyed the food cart and the whole ambiance there more. Again, it's also where I grew up. But if you're going to stay at a moderate resort, a little bit more expensive, but the rooms are a bit bigger, can accommodate more people, then what I would say is the ones that I really enjoy. The first one that I would like to bring up is Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Now, this resort is amazing because it's also on the Skyliner, just like Pop Century and Art of Animation. So it's super easy access to Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So that's something that's beautiful about this resort. The aesthetic is super cool. It's a gorgeous place. And of course, like if you're like someone like me who came and visited from Wisconsin, it's so fun to be all around and surrounded by the tropical atmosphere. And like the main food court has like Sebastian in it and tons of different stuff like that. It's a really beautiful resort. If another place that I highly recommend as a moderate resort, probably like my other big recommendation is, but you really can't go wrong with all of these that I'm mentioning. But Disney's Port Orleans Resort, French Quarter, is beautiful. I literally just visited New Orleans about a year ago, and the aesthetics are amazing. But of course, without a lot of the negatives of being in a big city. It's a very quiet area right along the river. You can take a boat directly to Disney's shopping and food district, Disney Springs, where they have the World of Disney, which is like a massive, all focused on Disney store. And this is also where you can get beignets on property at Walt Disney World. So this is amazing. But if you're looking for, and also I need to throw this one in there too, because I just learned about it and I think it's incredible. If you like being by Animal Kingdom, and Blizzard Beach, and Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney's Coronado Springs Resort is gorgeous as well. But if you're looking for the deluxe resorts, these are like the fanciest of the fancy, the nicest of the nicest, with the most amenities, spas, and everything like that. What I would say is then, my first recommendation, I would say, if you're focused on being around the Magic Kingdom, I think it really comes down to this. If you're looking for like a tropical getaway, that's very similar to like Caribbean Beach Resort, but you're immersed in the Magic Kingdom. Disney's Polynesian Village Resort is by far like the way to do it. Like in the Magic Kingdom Resort area, Disney's Polynesian is definitely where I recommend staying the most. The aesthetics are super cool. Lilo and Stitch and Moana are the main characters that are interwoven into the DNA of this resort. It's beautiful. It's on the monorail route, so you can take a monorail to Magic Kingdom and Epcot. It's super gorgeous, right on Seven Seas Lagoon. You can see the fireworks from the resort. It's incredible. You can get Dole Whip right there. I've had their nachos. They're like tropical nachos. It's amazing. I love Polynesian Resort. And the other deluxe resort, which is one that I was lucky enough to even be able to stay in, not just explore, but actually stay in, is this one. And truly, if you're a fan of animals or a fan of Animal Kingdom like I am, because I was born in the same year Animal Kingdom opened in 1998, Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge and Villas is amazing. in that open enclosure, all of there are actual animals from Africa that roam around. There are literally giraffes and zebras and gazelles that just roam around. You can wake up and see the animals outside your room. It is incredible. And they make like U shapes around these areas. And so every room has a balcony and the ability to see the animals when you wake up. It is so cool. It is super cool. Highly recommend. So those are definitely the resorts that I would recommend the most. But for a family that's focused on primarily going to the parks, I think Pop Century or Art of Animation in the value resort section is like a great thing to have. Carnival Pup the First says, what is your favorite Disney famous popular character ever in Disney history? Probably like it kind of top two is like Mickey Mouse and Stitch are definitely my top ones. Steve says, if the malt shop at the Dolphin is still there, I highly recommend it. The malt shake is awesome. I remember you telling me about that, and I really need to go do that. I just went to the Yacht and Beach Club's Beaches and Cream shop, where we could get like a sink filled with ice cream. And so I've had that recently, but I need to try those malts. Animal Amy's, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do you have anything for Disneyland Paris? Because I'm going there next year. Yes, we do have the ability to help book Disneyland Paris vacations. That's something that we're able to call in and help you through that process. Definitely, if you want to learn more about everything to do with like Disneyland Paris and everything like that and how we can help you, make sure to go to planimaginative.com. Roblox Robot says, have you been to Club 33? I have not. No, I haven't. At some point, I'm sure I will. But thus far, I have not. Carnival Pup the First says, I've never been on a Disney trip or been at a Disney landmark or on a Disney vehicle like the Disney cruise. That's fair. I think that's an experience that many people share, but I highly recommend going. If you have the means to, I think it's a super, super fun experience. Amanda says, Isaac, do you know if there's going to be a Megamind 2? Not that I'm aware of. The only movie that I'm aware of that like has caught my eye from DreamWorks in the next few years is Kung Fu Panda 4. Imagine Daniel says, hey Isaac, what do you think will happen to the Descendants franchise? From what I've heard rumors that there might be a Descendants 4. Viridian Bile says, congratulations on your new journey. What gave you the idea to start it? I suppose you're referring to the travel agency. Wishing you lots of luck with this. Sounds like a dream job. So what caught my eye is kind of the story goes is that like growing up, I saw how much effort it was for my parents to like bring my brother and I to the Disney parks. And so once I had this audience built up through YouTube, and I realized that there was an opportunity to be able to help people by guiding them through the process of planning and booking their Disney vacations, it really seemed like such a logical extension. There was someone in the comments of the announcement video that said, it's so amazing the idea that I can not only support you as a YouTuber, but also get your help booking Disney vacation. And it's true. I think that's what I think is so what's so elegant about this project is that I feel like it works so perfectly into what I'm already doing. The fact that I can be doing a video about Elsa and Anna and then be able to casually say, if you want to meet Elsa and Anna at Disneyland or Disney World or on a Disney cruise ship, we can help you go through the process of planning and booking your next Disney vacation. Go to planimaginative.com. It's such I think it's just so, it felt like something that I just was drawn to do. I just couldn't help but not do it. Like I was hemming and hawing if I wanted to do this for so long, and I just felt like I had to do it. Samantha says, that's awesome for your travel agency. I'm a cast member and don't need a hotel, but I recommend you when I can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And of course, if you ever want to go to a different coast or anything on your own Disney trips too, of course we can help with that. But I really appreciate the recommendation. Word of mouth is something that's super powerful. I know that and so it's really meaningful if imaginative travel can be on your mind. I really, really appreciate that. Caden, hello. Nice to see you. Dark Shadow, I'm doing well. How about you? Steve says, of course you've got the Galactic Star Cruiser. Oh yeah, Galactic Star Cruiser. That is one big hotel experience. It's 2 nights. It's massive. It's highly immersive, but it is very cost prohibitive. Carnival Pup the First, will Disney ever let the Disney Wish cruise go from main USA land to Hawaii? I'm not sure if they'll do that. It feels currently like the Disney Wish is built to be an extension of Walt Disney World, and so I assume it's probably going to stay in the Caribbean for a while. Caribbean and the Bahamas for a long time. Imagine Daniels, hey Isaac, do you think oh yeah, we talked about Descendants, kind of where I think that's going to go. Maximilian says, congrats on starting your own agencies. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Roblox Robot says, favorite Disney YouTubers? I think DSNY Newscast is really good for Disney news. Keeps you very up to date on everything that's going on. They do amazing job diving into all the research and rumors and everything like that to be able to address it all. And it's Sports TV. Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Hello, Alien Royalty. Animal Amy says, do you think Oswald will come back for meet and greets? I do. He's my favorite Disney character. I'd love to meet him. I would love to meet Oswald. I think that's a really cool experience. I remember at one point they even were selling Oswald like ears, but I was lucky enough to be able to get an Oswald on one trip in 2017. He was at Disney's Hollywood Studios and they were selling a plush of him, and now I don't really see him around. DeFreak says, I've been to World, never Disneyland. I like to do both, but which would you suggest trying to go to next? Okay, that's a good question. So the reality is, here, I want to see if I can, we can like pull up a map, do something like that to showcase really what I'm talking about. Because I think like a map is able to show like the scale of everything, really is able to like articulate how like big and grand everything is. And like what the key differences are between both of the locations. Because the truth is like if you live close to Disneyland, I think it makes sense for most vacations to go to Disneyland. Like it just makes sense. But the reality is I definitely have opinions on what I think can make the most sense for most people. I do have like pretty strong recommendations for that. Let's see. I think this is pretty good. A pretty good view. Now I just need to pull up the Disneyland one. Well, actually, we'll just start with Disney World first. Okay. So here's a map of Disney World. So at the north end of the campus of Disney property, we have Magic Kingdom itself, and then all of the resorts around Magic Kingdom. There's a whole campground. And then as we go down, there's Epcot, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and all of these locations are different hotels. And Disney Springs is over here, and Animal Kingdom. And so most of these locations, as you can see, you need to be able to drive to all of them to be able to have access to it. It is a massive area. It's about the size of Manhattan. It is truly gigantic in scale and size. And what that means is that for most people, for most groups, I would say it makes the most sense to go to Disney World because there's 4 different parks, 2 water parks, and a whole shopping district, and so many more resort hotels, which allows you to stay on property. For the grand majority of people, I would say if you want to come as a family for a week to a Disney park, I would highly recommend Disney World. But the reality is, though, is that Disneyland itself has a lot to offer as well. The reality is that it's a much smaller campus because they're in the middle of the city of Anaheim. So all of these resorts outside of the main area, all of these are good neighbor hotels. So these are not actually on property, but they have a relationship with Disney, and so you're able to book them through Disney. The only on property hotels, there's only 3, whereas Disney World has over 25. So Disney World is just on a completely different size and scale. I mean, there's 5 hotels all right here in between Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So it's just a completely different scale. And these hotels are unfortunately more expensive. And truth, to be honest, I recommend staying on property as much as possible. I think staying on property really makes a big difference in making the experience better. But I'd also like to say that Disneyland is probably my favorite Disney park. It's got the classic castle. It has so many amazing rides. Disneyland is like everything, like all of the best rides from Disney World all exist in these 2 parks, Disney California Adventure Park and Disneyland. They have Avengers Campus. They have Pixar Pier. They have Cars Land. They have Galaxy's Edge. They have so many great attractions. Indiana Jones is here. There's so many good things. So if you're looking for something specifically, like if you're the biggest Marvel fan in the world, then I would say you should probably go to Disneyland. But I would also like to say that I think we probably have the best Marvel ride in the world at Epcot. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is, I think, the best Marvel ride available right now. So there's also that. So you really can't go wrong in either coast. But if there's something specifically you're looking for, again, like if you're the biggest Cars fan and you need to experience Cars, then Disneyland is the place to go because Disney California Adventure Park has Cars Land. But all that to say, I would recommend that if you want a week-long vacation, you want to stay on property, you want to experience 4 different distinct parks, I would say that Disney World is the no-brainer there. Oops. Whoopsie, whoopsie. Okay, there we go. Come on. Yeah. I would say that Disney World is the place to be for that. Because it's just so large. There's so much to do. There truly is. You could probably spend 2 weeks here and not get bored. Especially if you also want resort time too. Like that's not even saying like spending a day just resort hopping or going to the pool and doing things like that. Taylor Edwards says, I'm curious, what is your favorite non-Disney animated movie? Probably How to Train Your Dragon 2 or Shrek 2, probably. Steve says, actually, I saw Oswald once at California Adventure. Maybe it was a one-off thing, but maybe not. I hope that Oswald's around more. Carnival Pub the First says, you know what would be a great collab? Was Disney with Apple. Yeah, I agree. I think Disney and Apple, they have a long, extensive history together, so it would be very cool to see them continue to work together in new ways. Oh, Carnival Pub the First. Wait, did you say campground? That is correct. At Disney World, they have a campground. Here, I can show you it. So, if we zoom in, so here's the Magic Kingdom, and here's the monorail loop around the Magic Kingdom resort area. Then there's Disney's Wilderness Lodge, and then if you keep going a little bit farther, there's Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort Campground, and there is a variety of spots, so you can bring an RV or a camper to one of these spots, which is really the most affordable way to go. Of course, it's very difficult to beat like just having like a plot of land. But the reality is with the campground, I think it's about $95 a night, and you get your own plot, electricity, water hookups, everything is available here. And there's still pools and mess halls. This is where the Hoop-de-Doo Review is, a great dinner show that's family style buffet with a bunch of American food. Super, super good. You get end the night with strawberry shortcake, so super good. It's a massive, so many spots. If you go onto the side roads around here, you'll always see campground, giant RVs and trailers constantly coming and going from over here. But if you want to stay at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, you can, even if you're flying in, because the reality is that all of these destinations right here are all cabins. So these are all cabins that you're able to stay at as well, which are actually, this is kind of the craziest thing, are actually cheaper than some of the deluxe resorts. So you can have a full cabin that's, I think, kind of goes around for about $400 a night. And so for about $400 a night, you can have an entire cabin to yourself at Walt Disney World, which I think is something that's just not talked about enough because it's so crazy. You're right by the Magic Kingdom. Oh, shoot. It's so hard to control the map and have it be full screen at the same time. Okay, there's the map. Where's the map? Where's the map? Where's the map? Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's really crazy, the fact that this is just like casually exists here. But it's like, I haven't personally stayed at it, but what I've learned is that there's like a whole culture around the campground. Lots of people will bring in their golf carts, and there's the ability to have different like bike paths and different things. And then actually what's pretty cool is that to go to and from Magic Kingdom, you actually take a boat. So as you can see here, this is the boat dock, and then it'll take you over here and then over to the Magic Kingdom. Otherwise, you'll take a bus to and from the campgrounds, but to Magic Kingdom, you'll be taking a boat. But it's very beautiful. The woods are super, super pretty. I often, when I'm driving on those roads over there, I often see deer very often. Lily Rain says, I never knew Disney was so huge, but personally would want to go to Harry Potter World if I ever went to Orlando. That is true. Truly, like, the truth is Orlando kind of has a lot of the best stuff, and Universal is no different. Currently at Universal, we have both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, and that are connected by a train system. So you're able to take the Hogwarts Express if you have 2 park pass to go between them. It's super cool. We have Hagrid's. That's like the best Harry Potter ride by far. It's a story ride and a roller coaster all combined. It's super, super cool. If you're ever thinking, if you ever want to experience everything to do with Harry Potter, definitely come to Universal Orlando to do it. I have an annual pass to Universal here, and it's awesome. Drew Doherty says, that's crazy how Disney World is really bigger than Disneyland. Disneyland needs to have a third park. Oh, it'd pretty much be impossible for Disneyland to have a third park at this point. Because it's so difficult for them to acquire land. It is so cramped because all of this is city around them. Yeah, maybe I should do this. Yeah, all of this is city. Like I-5 goes right next to it. So they are landlocked so hard. There's really not much more they can like expand into because everything is like, it's pretty much like the only thing they can do is go over parking lots and build parking structures, but otherwise they have very, very limited in their ability to grow. Whereas Disney World has tons and tons and tons of ability to grow because so much of it is completely untapped real estate. Yeah, Steve says they should, but unfortunately the real estate isn't there. I live an hour away from there. Yeah, it's just kind of impossible, unfortunately. Do any of you guys have any specific questions about the campground? Because I keep seeing a lot of questions about that. I can pull up a picture of the area too. Yeah, so here's like one of the cabins. So it's very beautiful woods. It's very, very cool. I think it's a very, very pretty resort. A Nintendo Stitch. Why don't they have a Stitch ride at Disneyland? I don't know. I would love more Stitch. I'd be all for it. We had an attraction at Walt Disney World about Stitch, and unfortunately, it's gone. Irish Water says, hello, Isaac. Hello, nice to see you. Drew Doherty says, Isaac, do you still have any thoughts about the Splash Mountain retheme to Princess and the Frog? Here's what I'll say. I really enjoyed the story and the music and the animatronics in Splash Mountain. I have a lot of fond memories of it, but it makes sense why they're retheming it. And I really do like Princess and the Frog, and I know that they're going to still have, they're leaving up a lot of the show building. So I know that a lot of the elements, a lot of the things that I appreciate about Splash Mountain will live on, and I'm excited to see Tiana's story explored a lot more. Carnival Pup the First says, so you can bring your own personal camper there? Yeah, you totally can. At the campgrounds, yeah, you have full ability to bring your own camper and stay in it. And you can bring whatever equipment you want with it. Animal Amy says, what do you think of Brian Hall? He's does some amazing character impressions. He truly does. I did a video once where I had told the story of Christopher Robin, and I had Brian do the whole video as Winnie the Pooh. It was really cool. Are the cabins nicer than the hotel rooms? I don't necessarily know about that. Here, I'll find some images that I can pull up and showcase. Let's see. World cabins. Let's go into those. We can show you some pictures, some official pictures. Oh goodness. No, I don't want the recreations. I'd like the room overview, please. View gallery. Okay. All right, so here's the gallery. Here's the boat launch. Here's the cabin and the rooms. Okay. I think the rooms look really pretty. Like you have a whole kitchenette, pull-out couch, a TV, and of course it's really separated from everything. It's very quiet. Yeah, you're completely away from all the hustle and bustle. Of course, you'll still hear the fireworks every night. But other than that, they can be really, they're really pretty rooms. You got the cute little train engine. And so if you're really looking for that woodsy look and you have a lot of people that you're staying with, it's a really great option. Yeah, and there's even a separate room. Yeah, these are two different rooms to like the main living room and then the actual bedroom. Bunk beds and a full bed. Viridian Bile says, what park would you say is the most price efficient? Are you speaking between Disney World and Disneyland? Because I would say that if I was going to choose one for price efficiency, I would say Disney World. Here, the reason is because once you're on Disney property, there's no concerns in the world, like once you're on property, because Disney handles the transportation, and since it's all removed, because it's all separated from the Orlando city area, everything is controlled and taken care of and preserved. It's a great guest experience. And since it's so much larger, there's an ability for them to create more affordable hotel rooms. And so once you're on, because there is an ability to get affordable lodging at Disneyland, but unfortunately the reality is that being in Disneyland means that you're walking around a city in the Los Angeles area. So that's just something you have to be aware of. And some of these are not short walks. And so the reality is it does to some extent take you out of the immersion. There is the downside of actual city environments. All the pros and cons of that exist. But Disney World is completely off on its own. And so with the reality of a variety of different value resorts, Art of Animation, Pop Century being my favorite, but then there's also all of the All-Stars. All of these are affordable while giving you all of the benefits of staying on property with the bus system, access to their cafeterias, access to concierge services. And so I think I would highly recommend to stay on property. And so since that's what my recommendation is, and there's more value resorts at Disney World, that's definitely where I would say to go. Steve, I think they would have central air. I don't think there's any way that those cabins don't have that. I think it'd be too hot otherwise. MN Sweet, evening Isaac, are you still looking for agents? I would gladly take on more agents, but at the moment I don't have a procedure in place to take in more at the moment. That's something I'm working through. And when I'm fully ready to take on more people, I will definitely let that be known in the community tab, and in YouTube videos, and it will be on the site. So here I can showcase where that will eventually be. So check back at the bottom of the site. There'll eventually be a link of like work with us or become an agent or some kind of link like that will be at the bottom of the page. And you'll be able to click that, fill out a form, and we'll be able to begin the process. That's currently not set up, mainly because right now we're to a place where we're just mainly wanting to start booking and guiding guests to their resort stays. But that's something that I'd like to do eventually in the future. Animal Amy says, do you think he'll do any videos on Oswald, like his history or something? I think that would be super fun. I really have been enjoying Disney history lately, and so I definitely think I'll be diving into that a lot more into the future. Emin Sweet says, the porches are really nice in the morning, and if you have a dog, the campgrounds are the only place on property with a dog park. That's really good to know. Yeah, if you want to bring your dog to Disney, the Fort Wilderness campgrounds are the place to do it. Viridian Bile, if you know anything about international pricing, that would be interesting too. From what I'm actually aware, like Tokyo Disneyland per day is much less expensive than Disney World per day. The issue, of course, is that for most Americans, it is all the way across the Pacific Ocean. So that transportation cost is quite prohibitive. The grand majority of the Disney parks around the world have only 2 theme parks, not as much on-property resort hotels as well. But per day, it can be actually more affordable in international markets. Drew Doherty says, do you have any thoughts on the Haunted Mansion movie? And Disney has just announced that D23 this year. And if you can make a movie based on a Disney theme park attraction, what would it be and why? I don't... let's see. I am interested in the Haunted Mansion movie. I think it'll be very interesting to see how that comes about. If I was going to make a theme park attraction into a movie, I feel like I'd probably do... My knee-jerk reaction is Space Mountain. Because I really think it's fun to like explore the stars and to do that. But I don't necessarily know what direction they would take with that. Laura Villa, hello. Nice to see you. Laura says, I work for the Wilderness Lodge Resort as a pastry chef on the weekends. Hope that catches your attention. Yo, that's super cool. That's so awesome. PRC, do Disney cruises still require COVID vaccinations? Let's see. Man. See, that's something that's been changing so much over the last few months. That it's kind of something that you really got to like keep up to date with. Okay. Let's see. So it does appear that you do need a vaccine to go on a Disney cruise. For sailings from the U.S. beginning on or after November 14th, 2022, they will no longer require guests to be tested for COVID-19 regardless of vaccination status. So that's something to be aware of. But you do need proof of vaccination, from what I can tell currently. But that's something that, it's something that's an ever evolving situation. Oh, Emin Sweet. Yeah, if you have an email drafted up, you can definitely send that over, but but also note that in the future I'll have some type of more formal form as well for people that are aspiring to be travel advisors. What is the best room on the Disney Wish, but not like room with the best deck to be on during the Disney Wish? Um, okay, so from what I can tell, there's nothing that's really that bad, but I think the the truth is that I feel like for most people, um, they want an actual like window out to see the sea. So anything that actually has a port, like a porthole or a window, I think is something that a lot of people would value a lot. In the Disney ships, they will have virtual ones if you don't actually see out. But I think for the most part, it's helpful to have something like that. Animal Amy, can I bring my two dogs to Disneyland Paris? I just want to know since my one of my dogs is a working dog, and my other one is still in training since I'm autistic. Yes, I think you'd definitely be able to bring. I know, like at the very minimum, I know that you would be able to bring your primary service dog. I can't speak to the one in training or how that works. I would need to do more research about that. But if you have a service dog, then from everything I've always seen and understood, you'll be able to bring them. Oh, a balcony on a Disney cruise is fantastic. Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. Um, it's obviously it's price prohibitive for some if the main goal is just to get on a Disney cruise ship. But the balconies are would be fantastic. Emin Sweet says, if your campgrounds during the October and December, do walk around the ground or rent a cart as many decorations their slots. Otherwise, look out for the local deer and rabbits. See, I think that's super cool. Yeah, that's something that I've seen at local campgrounds, like how people have decorated for like Halloween and everything. I think it's super cool that that kind of like tradition is carried on to the the Disney campgrounds as well. That's something. I mean, people also do that in the like the resort hotels as well. That they'll decorate their windowsill. Some will put out things like if they're celebrating a birthday, if they're celebrating just getting married, they'll put like stuffed animals in the window and everything. It's super cool, very sweet to see. Drew Doherty says, I'm currently working on a book novel series called The Western River Expedition, which was an attraction from Disney that was supposed to be built in the Magic Kingdom, but they never did. Oh, I have heard about that. It's a fascinating to learn about those like little things that kind of like came and went in Disney history. But of course, everything lives on. Everything never truly dies. It just kind of gets shelved. So hopefully something like that will be able to rise again. But otherwise, I've really appreciated getting to speak to you all. If there's no other questions currently that we have, it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to speak with you all today, um, and to get a really amazing opportunity to be able to speak with you all about this project that I've been working on for so long, imaginative travel. Um, it's been quite the journey to get here. Um, And but it's been really fun too, and I can't wait to see what happens next. A PRC says, are diamond packages still available, and is it worth it? Let's see. Dining packages. Okay. Dining packages are like the dining plans are currently not back at Walt Disney World right now. They have not returned yet. But it seems like something that inevitably has to arrive. So yeah, definitely continue to keep looking. It seems like something that will eventually come about. I'm feel very confident that they'll bring it back eventually. At least I'm hoping they will. I think it would be a real shame to not have it, because I think it's a real benefit to be able to ease the complexity of a trip by just having the dining packages. Thank you, MN Sweet, for providing more context about being a handler. Accidental Innocence, congratulations on your company, Isaac. So happy for you. Thank you so much. Laura Vela, okay, what new theory are you going to do soon? Well, it's not a theory, but one of the next videos I'm doing is going to be all about Phil Collins and his involvement with Tarzan and how that all came to be. So that will be the next video, most likely towards the end of the week is kind of the plan. That's what's coming up next. But otherwise, yeah, this has been a great conversation. I loved being able to speak with you all today. And I look forward to being able to help any of you who are interested in going to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, a Disney Cruise Line vacation. And to help you through all of that process. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'm also, of course, very excited to continue to be able to make videos for you. It's an absolute pleasure. And I'm very blessed that I'm able to be here and in this position to be a Disney fan, striving to help and support other Disney fans. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting me and for being here. And I hope you have a very magical rest of your day. And of course, if you would like to work with us over at Imaginative Travel, go to planimaginative.travel.com. Thank you so much and have a great night.